could give you. Not that the world can't give you anything. The world could give you so much nice things. But I believe that you here this morning are here because you know that God could give you even more than what the world could ever give you. Am I right about that this morning? Yes. Amen. Right, good. And so I speak about the world when I talk about this. Maybe they think that there is nothing that they are not in control of. In life, men like to always be in control. We could fix the car, we could fix the battery. Man, when the engine gives trouble, yeah man, there's the gasket or something, and they know what they're talking about, you know, they're in control. Alright? But my brothers and sisters, rest assured, there are things that are out of our hands. Amen. And so this is something, as Christians, we need to remember. We need to remember that we actually have a little extra wisdom. You could give you a little, you could pat yourself on the back and say, yeah, I have a little bit of extra wisdom this morning. It's true. You have a little more wisdom than those outside there. Don't mind those outside there, they might be richer than you. They might be living in a nicer house than you. I don't know. It might be. I want to tell you something. You still have more wisdom than them. But use this wisdom to your advantage this morning if you could. Use it by calling on God, by seeking His face, by doing the right thing this morning. Because I'll tell you something. The pleasure is not always everything that people expect it to be. It is not always, it is not so. And sometimes they find out too late, sometimes they don't even find out. So we're not boasting about it. In fact, I say that with a high level of fear before God. The fact that you have extra wisdom means that you also have to apply that wisdom. And sometimes that is the hardest thing. Alright? Because I know that the wisdom was granted to us by none other than God Himself. And that doesn't mean that you may not be shaken in life or nervous about a challenge in life. Do you think as a pastor, I have never been shaken or nervous about something? Do you think so? Of course I've been nervous about things. Of course I've been shaken about things. But this is what the devil wants to do. Do you think that there is no leader here? Sister Abigail, have you ever been shaken or nervous about something? Anybody? Brother Aaron, have you ever been shaken or nervous about something? Brother Aaron, are you who is the oldest member here? Anybody willing to? The elder? Who is the eldest? You are the eldest? Alright. Have you ever been shaken or nervous about something? Yeah? Maybe? Yeah? Right. So even the eldest person here would have been shaken or nervous about something in this life. But this is what the devil wants to do. He wants us to forget the power and the authority that God has over our lives. This is the way that he will attack you. Easiest way for him to attack you is this. He wants us to forget that power and the authority that God has for us. He wants us to forget that God can override every bad situation as long as it is in His will. He can override every single bad situation that is outside there. He wants us to forget that Jesus walked upon the waters. Remember that song? I think it's Oceans or whatever, is walking upon the water. And even the scriptures say so. Imagine that Jesus could walk on water. We get so accustomed hearing it that is like, what? Okay, alright, Jesus could do it, but big deal. It's a big deal. Can anybody here walk upon the water? I definitely, out of that gravity, will pull me down like weight, everything, mass, whatever you want to call it, will pull me down when I walk up. But Jesus was able to walk upon the waters and give advice. Wow. Yeah. It's a wow thing, yeah, but we get so accustomed when people preach it over and over and over. We forget, we kind of, alright, well, I'm big, we know about it. Amazing feats that Jesus could do. And this is just to say that God could defy science. God could defy even the scientific part of things. And so with a bad result too, He could change a bad result as well too. So I want you to continue to remember these things. And this is, as I said, exactly what Satan does to many of the people in the world. And this is our purpose, to remind people that God has the final say when man wants to have the final say. Not so? God has the final say. Man does not have the final say. They may think so. So we need to continue to trust in God for His mercies, His love, and His blessings. And back to the scripture we just read. God was giving down his laws to Moses and unto the children of Israel. And of course, most of you will know by now, the children of Israel were many a times, telling these words are descriptive enough, disobedient, accurate, rebellious, ungrateful. You all agree with that? Very good. So the Bible says that God bid them, let's say God commanded them to make fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations. Now, brothers and sisters, it seems to me that God was one of the fashion trenders of the early mankind. Wouldn't you say so? Because he was the first one that I read in the Bible to say put fringes around your clothing, your garments, right? Now, where is my mother? Is my mother anywhere around? Where's she gone? Washroom? Call she in front. Fetch my mother. Sorry to get, I know she was counting the offering in the back, but just that. Bear with me. Have some patience, right? Have some patience. Wow, time flying. All right, you can stand up right in front here. Now, I was looking for somebody else, but I had to use my mother because apparently my mother is the only one with these fringes. If you notice, she has blue. Turn around to the congregation. You see the blue fringes here? This little blue thing here. Now, it's not perfect fringes, maybe like what God wanted a long time, but the fringe here and the fringe here is what we're talking about, right? Thank you, Mom. You can go back down. Does she look wonderful this morning? Give her a round of applause. Give her a round of applause. All right. You're not like it's Mastana Baham. All right. All right. So, what we were talking about. All right. So, we were talking about the fashion trenders. So, God was like the first fashion trend. Thanks be to God. Now you have look they modify it and make it fancier. All right. And I thought about Miss Universe and the Miss World pageant. When those ladies wear the ribbons across them, they're labeled with their country, right? Normally the country or wherever they come from. I said to myself, they are wearing that ribbon with some pride. Wouldn't you say so? They can't, they can't move. They have to make sure you're looking belly in, all this kind of fancy thing, right? And so I said to myself, they are wearing that ribbon with some pride. They wear the ribbons with two types of pride. Pride for oneself. After all, I am certain they're getting many compliments about their beauty and so forth. Nobody's really telling me about my beauty, but maybe it's not beauty that I have, right? All right. And also with the pride of representing their brand, which in this case is their country. However, we see that the ribbons worn by the Israelites started off differently. The ribbon was first and foremost a reminder to obey the commandments set forth on God. You see the difference between the pageant ribbon and what God was telling them? It's a different ribbon, right? Even though it was fancy and looking nice. And this is where God placed in my heart the question, how do we wear God's banners, the ribbon? How do we wear it? Do we wear it like the ladies and they're looking nice and they wear it with a certain pride and so forth and thing? How do we really wear it? And you ask yourself the question, there's no wrong or right, but when I talk about it, maybe there might be a wrong and right. I don't know, we'll see. So do we wear God's banner with carnal pride, like that of the woman in the pageants? Well, because it's carnal, it is, do we wear our banners like that, where the women are more noticeable than the banner? Hear my statement? What you just notice first? Men! Men, don't answer this question, men! But when you see the Miss Pageant ladies walking on the stage on TV, you just notice the ribbon or you just notice the lady? Men, don't answer this question. Alright? But you see the difference is that for many, they look at the ladies who are the beauty of the lady as opposed to the ribbon, right? The ribbon is second place. And so this is what God was really showing me. Are we putting ourselves in front of the ribbon? Or are we letting the ribbon, which is the banner of God, be seen in front of us this morning? And this is what I thought about, and I give the example of even, the flag. If I am behind the flag, what is to be seen? Not the flag itself, but if I am in front of the flag, what is being seen? Me. This is where we talk about pride this morning. So we're talking about pride in our way when we talk about this banner this morning, right? So do we wear the banners that people look at us with admiration, but then we laugh at them at the back and we belittle them behind their backs? Is it that is how we do it? And we'll get into more about the flags and the ribbons a little bit later on. Alright? Pastor, you're saying that we should have no pride in ourselves? Well, this is exactly what I thought about when I asked that question. You see, in the last 3 years, God has continued to show me that it's not about my pride, but my subjection towards God. It's not about my pride, but the subjection I have towards God. But yes, brothers and sisters, pride is something that affects each and every one of us, including the pastor. I start with myself first. This is what God was showing me. He was showing me, Richard, are you too proud? Are you being too proud to do certain things and so forth? And then it falls on to the leaders. Leaders, are you being proud? Are you being proud as well? And it includes the entire congregation. Yes. So pride affects each and every one of us. Not so? Yeah. Yes, because, sometimes even pride could be a self-consciousness. I wonder what somebody could think if I have a little hole in my jacket or some kind of thing. We start to think about those things, and it's human for us. But I hope that you're getting the realness of the questions that I ask and making ourselves less so that God can be glorified is what God really wants from us. It's a hard thing. It's a hard challenge in life. It is the total opposite to how the world works. This is a subtle hint that you may actually be on the right track sometimes. Alright? I am not condemning those who have pride more than any other challenge or circumstances in their lives, and even in our lives, but I am saying that when pride is not on ourselves, then the banner of God can be seen more. The banner of God can be seen more. If we pride ourselves, and sometimes that's why I am always apologetic when I come up here and I talk about myself. Because the only reason I talk about myself is to give an example for you to follow. And the only example I can give is, I know myself the most. And so I don't say it out of pride, it's just to give an example. But by me giving an example and focusing on me, that might be a distraction from seeing God himself. And so this is what I mean by that pride. Alright? Now, you just saw the fringes on the edges of mom's clothes and so forth. And when you think about a building, right? The strongest parts of the building is usually the part where the pole, with the cornerstone. The corner areas are like the strongest part. And the same way it is with the garment. And this is what I believe God was telling them. Put it on the cornerstone, the corners of your garments, because it has to be the important part, the strongest part for you to remember, to make this your foundation. Make that your foundation this morning, that you must remember my commandments. You see, they would have worn it with pride. People would have seen it and say, oh, it is so lovely that you have this nice border and it looks so nice. But the meaning was the absolute opposite way around. And I hope that you see that. The meaning was really for they to be reminded, even though it was glamorous to people that may have been looking around, those marks were to remind them to be faithful and holy unto Almighty God this morning. And isn't it ironic? Because we get so many blessings in life. Do those blessings remind us of God? When we get a new car or a new house, do we flaunt it and say, oh, we have a nice house here, we have a nice car here? Now, I'm not talking jealousy, but I'm saying that when God gives us something, there might be another meaning behind it. You might say, well, all right, you get a nice car to drive, maturing to school and so forth. But there's another meaning. It could be just like that fringe that God said put on. He said put it on to remember me. Remember and honor me. That is God, of course. Not me as in man, right? But God. That is what he's saying sometimes here. So he's saying make that our foundation this morning. Make the commandments, make my rules the foundation. When I bless you, remember that blessing is telling you, behave yourself. Continue to do what is right unto me. Continue to be holy. And you know, not everybody's do that when they get blessed. Amen. When they get blessed, they miss church. Yes. Yes. When they get blessed, they start to go out and make friends outside. Nothing wrong with making friends outside. So don't think I'm bad talking. People are just saying outside there. And then the influence start to happen. Yes. And then you get further and further and further away from God. That's why I say it is like how Paul said, betwixt between being here and being up there. It's the same paradox that I see here. Because you have that challenge in life. You get blessed. But then you start to want more. And that's, that is human nature. We want more. The church not good enough for you no more. You have to go to a bigger church. I just say it as an example. Yes. Here we have good people. May I see that here. But I say, it happens. We want to be with the higher society because we start to get blessed. That we want to be only, we want to go up and be with the rich people. And that is what that attraction is there. The worldly attraction is there. But God is saying something else. He said, when you bless, right, you have to remember why you get blessed. So that you could probably help somebody. You see, Sister Abigail, I want to tell them your business. I know that you look for good people when you have to get workers. Because you get blessed. And in order for you to be blessed, you look for other people too to bless them in a way. Because by offering them a job, you're giving them a blessing as well too in the process. And that is good that Sister Abigail is doing. So we need to remember that when we get that blessing, I'm not saying go and give your car to somebody randomly and let them drive your car, Your insurance won't cover that. But what I'm saying is, it might have somebody outside there that don't have a car and can't reach the church. Yes. Drop them to church now. It don't hurt you to drop them to church. It will help you out in the long run. Remember why God gave you that blessings this morning, alright? Am I getting there this morning? Yeah. Alright, good. We get into it's simple, nothing too big and fussy this morning, alright? But this is what God was showing me. That while people saw it as an adornment to them, it was really meant as a reminder to them themselves who wore it. Today you might have a ribbon, but you have clothes on. And clothes might be a blessing. And you might be looking good with your clothes on and your jacket and your tie. But remember God, this clothes, anytime you put on this clothes, it should be a reminder of what God is saying to us. If you don't have nothing to tell you, come to church on 9 o'clock this in the morning. You have clothes in your closet when you see it. Because some people, they want reminders to come to church. Sister Abigail watching you. Only don't get vexed with me, It have people like that. They know how to get up 8 o'clock in the morning for work, my brothers and sisters. Oh gosh, don't get vexed with me. Alright, they know that they cannot leave 8 o'clock in the morning to reach 8 o'clock in church in Port of Spain. Not so? Yeah. But when you come to church, what's going on? Ooh, Sister Shelley. Yes. Ouch. Ouch. Yes. And you see, I don't say that to hurt anybody. Yes. I'm saying that because you have to decipher when something really makes sense and something don't make sense. And I'm not trying to judge anybody either. But I'm saying if you have that deep respect for your work, yes. You have that deep respect for your boss, and you know you can get in trouble with the boss and whatever. Well, have a little deep respect for God. Have a little deep respect for what He wants to do. You understand? Give Him glory and honor. When you reach late, I don't know, I probably should ask Nishara this, because Nishara is being meetings and them kind of thing too, right? Who else is being meetings? Brother Cook is being meetings, right? Brother Cook, if you take the effort and the time to reach in your meeting early and everybody gather together and you see one man, he reach about half an hour late after all, let me call your points. You might wonder yourself, but this man really serious? Yes. You might ask the question?
Yes. Yes.
What is that? He might be in the meeting. And so, this is the point I'm trying to say. We have to get serious when it comes to Almighty God. Amen this morning? Yes, we could get serious when it comes to Almighty God this morning. And overall, this has the better outcome when we are blessed and we remember to give Him thanks. Then we are blessed and we go about showing off what we have. Because in the process of showing off what you have, you say, well, God bless me. Now hear this, some people will say, God bless me. I get a nice car, I get a nice house or whatever. God bless me. But that is one line. And after that, the majority of what people see is really the car. Yeah? We do. We forget that, hey, God give him that, you know. Because so much flaunt and it's so beautiful and it's so nice. When we forget the main picture, it is like looking at the lady. I'm not encouraging all to look at ladies and people.